This is TCR, TroyCommunityRadio.com. I'm Clint Myers on 107.1 WTJN. Saturday morning programming is brought to you by Outlook Financial. And it's time now for the Mayor's Report. And with us is Mayor Michael Beamish.
The mayor is here in the arena here. No, we're in the studio. And Clint, good morning to you. Good morning to David. Good morning to all those who listen to this fine radio station.
Boy, I'll tell you what, we can see the change in the weather. The sunlight, we've got more in the morning, it's lighter at night, and new parking downtown.
We do. We have a new plan out there, and we have listened to a lot of individuals, each one with a different position on what would be in the best interest of the downtown area. And I think our council and our administration have done a really good job of trying to find some kind of a solution. May not be perfect, but it does listen and meets a lot of the needs that I keep hearing from our small businesses in downtown and for people who come in and look for parking. So we have 30-minute parking in our quadrants. For those who just need to get in and out.
And those are the front spaces that face the circle.
That's right. So, and it's a short walk to get to any place you need to go. And then we got the 2 hour within the outskirts of the quadrants. Mm-hmm. And so if somebody needs to have a lunch or a dinner or break, they can find a place or just shop. And then if you can just go out just a little bit, you can find 4 hour parking.
And that's East and West Main and North and South Market Street are the 4 hours.
That's right, Clint. And so you can start to see the different pockets. And then, if you're willing to get a little exercise, and it doesn't take a whole lot of exercise, but you can go to our parking lots, and they're free. They're free parking now. So we have all the, I think, positions that we need to have to cover. Yes, some people may not be able to park right in front of the business they want to attend, but
it's only a few. Yeah, it's only a few steps away. So I don't think there'd be any problem. Usually, when someone would bring up parking, everyone cringes because it was kind of a sore subject. I think you have tackled this amazingly. And I think it's really going to work out.
I think it will. We'll keep looking at it, of course, and see if there needs to be some tweaks that need to be made. But I think right now we know we've got parking spots all around.
Exactly.
So if somebody's willing to look around, they'll find parking that's suitable to their need. But we'll keep monitoring it and making sure that we, think of the small businesses. They're our backbone. That's the living room of our community downtown. And then we'll also keep looking at how people position themselves downtown and if it's working out.
All right. We saw the kiosk disappear out of the Cherry Street lot.
It's gone.
Meters are no longer in use in the other lots. So every place that there were paid parking is now free.
Absolutely.
See, and that's what I think works so well with this whole plan.
And the signage is up, too.
Yes.
So we waited until the moratorium ended, and we have the new signs up. Now, I will tell everybody, our parking control officer is still going to be out there monitoring extended vehicles, those who may be in a different zone than they should be.
Right.
So please be aware of, from Monday through Friday, we will be out there monitoring our traffic and parking.
And that's when it's in effect, Monday through Friday.
Absolutely.
And then the weekends are back open again.
That's right.
One other thing that I want, you touched on it, and it's the extended vehicles, because I've been catching some more of those on Main Street when you come down to the circle. And that is, you get one of those vehicles that's sticking out into the lane of traffic and could cause some bad problems.
Well, I have been on those roads when I've had to kind of go out into another lane, and you have to really look to make sure there's nobody else in that lane. But we've accommodated. There is places you can find to park
an extended vehicle.
An extended vehicle.
Absolutely. So if you're questioning, like right now in your head, like, do I have a vehicle that's longer than the spot? When you park in the spot, take a look behind your vehicle. If you do have something that's a little bit longer, and if it's sticking out in the lane of traffic, then we are talking to you.
Thanks, Glenn. But and you're downtown, so you see all this. So if we all work together,
exactly,
it should be a lot smoother and a lot easier for people to get in and out and around.
One thing I want to point out too, if you have one of those extended vehicles and it is out in the lane of traffic and it gets hit, you're going to get the ticket for having the extended vehicle sticking out in a lane of traffic.
Good point.
Well, that wraps up the parking
Let's think
portion.
Spring for a while.
Yes, let's go into spring because this nicer weather is that's just where it's got my head now.
Well, we'll start seeing the buds and the flowers, and then we're well on our way to a wonderful spring, summer, fall season. But
I know I've seen some buds on the trees downtown already in the front of the quads, so I'm anxiously waiting.
But an annual event that we do every spring to kind of kick off the season is what we call the Spring Neighborhood Cleanup Week. And that's going to take place on April 9th through, I believe, the 13th of April. And that's a time when we can all get out and look, and we'll allow for extra bags of household items. So we want you to separate those from the cart so that the cart can still be picked up and dumped, but we'll also allow for extra bags of household items to be placed a little bit away from the cart. Of course, recycling. We want you to use the carts for recycling, and that goes every week for recycling. But it is an opportunity for neighbors to help neighbors even, to go around and pick up litter and things from the winter season and pick that up, put it in a trash bag, and so we can keep the whole neighborhood clean. The one thing I would caution is a lot of people, I think, just dump things into a box. Boxes can be recycled if they're broken down, so I would say don't put them in boxes.
Okay.
Put them in bags so they're easy to be picked up and handled. And if you have a doubt, call the Central Maintenance Facility at 335-1914. It's in the phone book too. But the Central Maintenance Facility will be glad to help you as you ask questions of what things they will take on Spring Cleanup Neighborhood Week.
Gotcha. That's a good tip. Also, Dime Mill Road facilities open, so if you're doing some spring cleaning around your house, maybe bushes are coming out, maybe tree limbs came down in the wind, whatever it is, those items can go out to Dime Mill Road.
And that's open. If you have a driver's license that shows where you live in the city of Troy, all you have to do is bring your things down there. They'll collect those, and those are for, like you said, household, garden items, trash items, things bigger that you want to take down there. You can. The Dime Mill facility will be open through November, so you have no, and it is on different hours, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and I believe Friday. They're open from 11 in the morning to 7 in the evening. Saturday they're open at different hours. Then most people are home for the weekend, 9 o'clock in the morning to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We do close down to kind of do some maintenance work at the Dime Mill facility, so it's closed on Wednesday and Sunday.
Okay.
So, but that pretty much gives you the opportunity, again, if you have any doubts, call Central Maintenance Facility, tell them what you got, where would be the best place to put that out to get collected.
All right. And I can't believe this, but here we are at the end of yet another month. April, it starts Monday, and you have council on Monday.
April Fool's Day, April 1, we will have a city council meeting, 7 o'clock, City Hall. We'll have a number of items on the agenda. I can tell you that this past week, the subcommittee of finance met on 2 issues. One was to look at working with ODOT, Ohio Department of Transportation, as we think ahead on a purchasing program for rock salt.
Well,
We used a lot this year.
yes, we did.
And so we work as a consortium to try to get the best pricing for that and for our future. So that was discussed. And the other thing is that the 2019 CHIP program, that's Community Housing Impact Program. And it really is a Miami County type program. So you have Piqua and Tip City all working together on a project which allows property owners to submit applications for funds to rehabilitate or repair projects around. So we had a time crunch on getting that approved. So our subcommittee of finance will move forward with a council of the whole discussion and decision possibility on the April 1 meeting. That's just 2 items. There may be others. So if you're interested, come on out.
Okay. One other thing we could talk about, meet the candidate night that's coming up.
Well, it's going to be interesting. That's why I would like to share that on April 17th. It's at the Troy Junior High. This is a project that Leadership Troy alumni has done for years. And they allow different issues or candidates to come forward. People in the audience can ask questions. They can respond to those. This year, we really only have 2 contested May primary races. One for mayor. As you know, I'll be sunsetting out at the end of this year. And so we have 2 good candidates that'll be on the forum, and Mrs. Zoda and Mr. Kendall will be running for mayor. And then we will have a contested race between Jeff Schilling and Brock Heath, and that will be in the 6th Ward. So people could come. And those are really, I think, the only May contested races that we'll have.
Okay.
But still, Leadership Troy invites people to come out, ask the questions, get the answers that they need to make a good, reasonable decision on primary.
And I'm sure we'll be carrying it live right here on 107.1.
I know you will. I know you will.
And one other thing I wanted to point out, because I just saw essentially a reminder that this project's going to be starting, and I believe it starts in May, and that's when we're going to see the roundabout go in up by Dorset and McKay.
We'll be starting that project now. Of course, they're certainly going to be cognizant of the schools
right
when they go down for the summer session, and that's when you really see things happening in the roundabout on Dorset and McKay.
All right. Of course, it'll still be open there for the folks that live and work in those areas. All right, Mayor, thank you so much.
Wow, it's been a lot of things to talk about today, but all good. And think spring, because it's here.
Things are abloom in the city.
Oh, I like that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. This has been the Mayor's Report with Mayor Mike Beamish. I'm Clint Myers on 107.1 WTJF.